Texas AG now suing Whitesboro native and social media influencer Brittany Dawn Davis for what his office calls a misleading business.
News 12's Lauren Rangel dove into the lawsuit. She now joins us in the studio to break it down for us.
Texas AG sues Texoma native and social media influencer Brittany Dawn Davis, and this is located on 𝐔𝐒𝐄 It was written by Lauren Rangel. Published February 7th, 2022 at 6:41 p.m. CST. Texas KXII. Texas is suing Whitesboro native and social media influencer Brittany Dawn Davis for what they call a misleading business that violates the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Consumer Protection Act. Davis has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. She turned fitness and her lifestyle into a business. KXII first reported on her business in 2019, and that article was called "Health and Fitness Influencers Fans Say They Feel Swindled," and that article was written by Jen Phillips, published February 11th, 2019. The KWTX article continues. According to the lawsuit, Davis sold thousands of online fitness packages to people all over the U.S. for years, and the state received numerous complaints about them. The state of Texas is suing Brittany Dawn Davis, claiming she engaged in, quote, false, misleading, and/or deceptive acts or practices, end quote, that violate the Deceptive Trade Practices Act. The lawsuit said Davis began selling online fitness packages to thousands of consumers in 2014, promising personalized nutritional guidance and fitness coaching, including to one North Texas woman who asked to remain anonymous. She said she purchased a pre-summer plan in 2016 and filled out a survey to get her individualized plan. Quote, "I tend to lift heavier. You know, I was squatting at 135 as a warm-up and things like that," end quote, said the woman. Quote, "Immediately when I saw the meal plans, I thought, there's no way, like this can't be right. Someone went through and used my stats and everything and put this meal plan together because I obviously needed to operate on more than 1,200 calories a day," end quote. Davis's plan ranged from $92 for a one-time macro consultation to $300 for 3 months of personalized training and coaching. But the suit said Davis was selling essentially the same plan to everyone. According to the complaints received by the state, Davis failed to check in with buyers and modify their plans when needed as she promised. Quote, "Not a word. It was like she completely ghosted," end quote, said the woman. When buyers asked for refunds, the suit said Davis only offered partial refunds. Quote, "I've just had to kind of swallow it and, $300 down the drain," end quote, said the woman. Davis also, according to the suit, misrepresented herself as someone with specialized training in eating disorders. One complaint from a consumer said they wrote asking for help for an eating disorder in the survey they took to get a personalized plan. They said they got an email from Davis back saying, quote, "Great, welcome to the hashtag Team Brittany Dawn family," end quote. The suit alleges that Davis charged consumers with a shipping fee as well, even though plans were emailed. Quote, "Her house of cards is falling and maybe she'll have to be held accountable," end quote, said the woman. Texas is asking for a trial by jury and they won up to $1 million. KXII reached out to Brittany Dawn Davis and did not hear back. At the time of this reading, all information in the article was allegedly correct. If things have changed, I would like to note that here. happens, and it literally happens every day on my channel, and I still literally love talking to everybody in the live stream. I love when I get to go live with Karina. I'm going to let her introduce herself real quick, and then I will tell you who is responsible for the technical difficulties.
Hello, my dudes. My name is Karina, like on the screen, and I make bilingual anti-MLM content, anti-scam content, and on YouTube and sometimes on Instagram. I am very spicy. I'm a very spicy creator. And I'm also your friendly neighborhood plant lady.
Heck yeah. Love it.
And I love it here. That's why I'm here like all the time. I constantly invite myself to DC streams because I love it here.
I love that. I love streaming with Karina. She's one of the first people that I reached out to stream. I think I streamed with Kayla probably first. And then I had a couple of people where I interviewed them. And then I was like, Karina, want to partner up with a very small account? And she was like, heck yeah. She is not pretentious. She will tell you things straight. She has a big heart. And I love the spice. And I am just like, I'm going to be as spicy as Karina someday. And then I cry a lot. So I'm DC. I'm an MLM dropout. I'm trying to figure out a life after leaving Young Living in April of 2022. So this year, I go live a lot because I like talking to y'all and I love having Karina here. We are going to be looking at the preliminary hearing via Zoom of Brittany Dawn and her lawyers. That last little clip was her and her very kind of like irritated.
You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
I have my shirt on backwards.
Yeah.
This is my favorite pajama shirt, by the way. That's why I'm always wearing it. There we go.
I love a good tie-dye moment. And I love the color combination with your plants.
Thank you.
Yes.
Also, I wanted to mention I've never been in a MLM, but I've never been personally victimized by Regina George. But I know a lot of people that have, and my people in Spanish don't have all the information that English speakers have, and that's why I'm here.
Yes,
me and my friend Blanca. If you ain't heard about Blanca, get to know her because she's also amazing.
Yes, I need to link her account in my description. I try to link some accounts and I try to make them active links so that it's easy for people to click on and go subscribe to other people. Karina's incredible. Go click on her when I make it live in the description afterwards. So, and that's why I like having Karina on my channel too. There's no strings attached. It's always a good time. The 95 District Court of Dallas. Okay. And this was live. This was live streamed to YouTube from the court publicly.
These comments.
Comments.
Lynn said, because I said all the planets are in Gatorade, but Karina, which flavor of Gatorade? That's the big question.
That's amazing.
And then spicy tears. I got spicy tears. He's sure right about that, Sky. Let me tell them the ant story. So I was going to munch on some goldfish, while we were here, because I like to snack while I watch streams or while I am on streams. It helps my anxiety calm down. And I opened a brand new bag of goldfish and it was full of ants. Not the vibe. So I just stole some Fruit Loops from Leo. Shh, don't tell him. Also, he owes me after what he did today. If y'all don't follow me on Instagram, y'all should. If y'all only saw what this little monkey did today, it was wild, but it was also hilarious. Like, I couldn't even be mad at him.
Oh my gosh, I have to go check it out. I was kind of buried under work today, so I was like, I'm going to stream. Karina, literally like an angel, was like, hey, you want to stream? And I was like, hell yes, I want to stream. Here we are, and we've got the Zoom pulled up. If you stream on StreamYard, when you are in Google Chrome, there's an extension called Open as Pop-Up, so you can get the top bar mostly to disappear. If you have a large file, like a 30-minute plus video that sometimes you can't upload as a video into the share button, you can do this and pop it into a browser. I don't know. I just like sharing those tips because I know some other people who watch stream on StreamYard, and for all my technical difficulties, I sure feel bold giving suggestions, but I'm here.
No. I was gonna say you say a lot of things that you love about me. This is what I love about you: that you don't keep anything to yourself. You share the knowledge that you do have, and like, as someone who does not internet very well, I very much appreciate that. So thank you.
much. I'm gonna slightly culty love to Karina. I know I normally say
same, right back at you.
I'm gonna play this on normal speed because if you want to speed this up and listen to it at work, you're gonna be able to hear Karina in my commentary and the Zoom commentary at the same speed. That's why I'm going to do it that way. But we are gonna skip through because I think it would be very stressful.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
That hair.
Yeah.
She's probably not using Monet.
Okay, this is just people. We're skipping because it's just people show up early. We're gonna wait for the judge. Oh, wait.
All right, good afternoon.
Can y'all hear that?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. We are on the record in cause number DC 22-01388. It is styled State of Texas versus Brittany Dawn Fitness LLC et al. May I have the parties to briefly announce on the record for me? Let me know your name and who you represent in this action.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is James Holian. I'm an assistant attorney general, and I represent plaintiff, the state of Texas.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Mr. McLean, you're on mute.
I'm sorry about that. My name is Calvin McLean, Johnston and McLean in Plano, and we represent the defendants.
Okay.
You don't. Right. Oh, this isn't good.
And Mrs. Dawn, are you appearing in this particular hearing or
Davis,
just here observing?
Davis.
You're on mute right now.
That is our client, Your Honor.
Okay.
She will simply be here to observe.
All right. Are there any other announcements?
Your Honor, I can just identify the other persons who are present. The person who is listed iPhone (137) is my co-counsel, Jamison Joyce, who is also with the Office of the Attorney General.
Oh, shit.
And listening in today with the name MEW5 is actually a University of Texas intern, undergraduate intern with our office, who's going to be watching today's hearing, Mallory Weigel. And then Kristen Vasquez is the managing attorney of the Austin Regional Office of the Consumer Protection Division.
Oh.
All right, no problem. What is set today is the plaintiff's motion to compel. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I know there's been a response that has been filed to your motion to compel. So I'll hear from the movant first, and then I'll give the defendants an opportunity to respond.
Love the judge's energy. I will say
Thank you,
that.
Your Honor. What I'm going to do is just from the
I was going to say that.
Your Honor,
she sounds like she's not with the bullshit. So I already like her.
Yeah. And we love,
That's the vibe I'm getting from.
Exactly. Y'all know I love reading legal stuff and getting in kind of trouble for not really know what I'm talking about. But I think just as a reminder, obviously I have lots of feelings about Brittany Dawn. She's a very polarizing person. This is all alleged. The state of Texas is trying to prove this in the court system, what they believe Brittany Dawn did to the people who paid her. Well, just as a friendly reminder, we're going to stay to the behavior or the alleged behavior and stay away from other stuff because she has lots of stuff in her. She has lots of stuff.
And this is just our opinion. We're not professionals. We're not lawyers, attorneys, nothing like that. I don't know much about law, but I'm willing to learn. But I see shitty. I know shitty behavior when I see it.
Yep.
So
that's
what I'm here for.
Yep. Karina shoots straight for sure.
The state is going to request that you grant the state's motion to compel defendants' responses to the first set of interrogatories and requests for production of documents. And in so doing, would ask that you provide a firm deadline to provide complete and verified responses. And in our motion, we set 10 days on something that's already been 158 days in the making, as a firm and final deadline on a case that has a jury trial set in 5 months from today. So
that's not
with a
good.
little bit of factual background, I'll try to make this brief, Your Honor, but I want to give you just
Harper,
some brief factual background. The state filed this case in February of this year for violations of the DTPA, the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, using the consumer protection portions of that act. That are specific and exclusive to the Office of the Attorney General, and are doing so on the grounds that defendants have engaged in false, misleading, and deceptive acts and practices in the conduct of trade and commerce. Now, what is that trade and commerce?
We do, but I have much appreciation for Emily D. Baker, and Bam, the cat lawyer in the chat, she helps me a ton. So we like her, and and I like my spouse, who is an attorney as well. But there are three. That's three. The three that I like.
Your Honor. In this case, we are alleging that the defendants have made over $1 million in the sale of online fitness packages to thousands of consumers throughout the country with the promise of personalized nutritional guidance and fitness coaching. The plans themselves on the websites ranged from $92 for a one-time consultation or a 1-month training and fitness plan to $300 or more for multiple months of training and fitness. However, the state alleges that these nutrition and fitness plans were not individualized. The defendants failed to provide the promised coaching and modifications, and that so something that started at the tail end of 2013, 2014, we're not 100% sure on that start date yet, abruptly ended in early 2019 after national media ran stories about these consumer complaints. A group of consumers had banded together and started making noise about what they felt was an injustice to what they were paying for and not receiving. That received national media attention, prompting an apology video on YouTube, and the websites came down in 2019. So, Your Honor, that takes us to our discovery.
So she got away with this for 6 years?
She got away with it for 4 years, I think. 3 or 4 years. Then she made a transition into being a Christian influencer. Chrisfluencer, whatever it's called, when people started speaking up about it. And then they've been trying to get enough evidence to take her to court, but she hasn't been producing, from what I understand. This is a preliminary hearing to compel her to give them what they need, and they're 5 months out from the trial. So this is not a good, she has been dragging her feet on doing what she has to do, and you can get in a big, from what I understand, this could be wrong, Harper can set me straight, I think you can get in trouble for not providing what the state tells you to provide.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an option, is it? Like, they're not,
No.
you don't have a choice.
Fundy Fridays, it's been covering them. I think Isabella Lanter might have been covering them. Lots of people have covered Brittany Dawn.
Yeah, I think I saw Isabella's video on this.
Yeah.
Well, I listened to it, but yeah.
Initial, an exchange of initial disclosures per the new rules. And on April 7th, 2022, the state served its first request for discovery. And admittedly, Your Honor, it's comprehensive, but our goal was to get at the meat and potatoes of this case quickly so that we could jump into depositions and be ready for trial. Now, defendant's attorney requested and plaintiff granted 4 extensions for a total of an additional 48 days to respond to this discovery. Again, acknowledging that it was a comprehensive amount of material we were requesting, wanted to work with them. So defendants had until Friday, June 24th to respond. They did not timely respond. They, on Monday, June 27th, served incomplete and inadequate responses. That's Exhibit A to the state's motion, which we won't go through line by line. I'm not going to waste the court's time. We did some meet and confer and basically gave them an additional month till July 25th, 2022 to address the discovery issues. Defendants agreed, and defendants agreed to provide complete and objection-free responses. Defendants did not respond by that July 25th, additional month. Instead, the day after the 25th, I had to send.
If you can imagine, they requested this information at the beginning of April, so April 7th, and then they're saying by July she has not done what she's supposed to do. That's April to May, May to June, June to July. That's 90 days. They could have done something. That's over 90 days. They could have done something. So I wonder what her counsel's going to say, because normally it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long to produce something. Now, is that going to be an expensive run? Yeah, it is. It's going to be expensive to produce that.
What I'm thinking the whole time that he's saying that they filed extension after extension and then they still didn't have their shit together is like, tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty. If you have nothing to hide, if you have nothing to worry about, why don't you just produce the documents and like what they need to bring up without beating around the bush so much and then still not be ready? Like, that's very fishy, I think.
I wonder, I know Wendy's asleep, but I know that there's obviously rules that protect, they're in place to make sure that the legal system does its fair shake of people. Now, money gives other people a leg up, but I'm wondering what, and he's probably going to tell us what rule she's breaking by not producing this, because when did this happen? I don't know, but it's way too long past the request. To give you an idea, I used to be in e-discovery. So the company that's responsible for, like, you know, let's say Brittany says, hey, here's all the receipts, please print them. I need a copy. The prosecution or the state needs a copy, and the judge is going to need a copy. So let's say that's 10,000 documents each. That's 30,000 documents at 2 cents a page for black and white. You know, that gets pricey. Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, she should be able to afford it. I don't know. I'm just saying,
she made allegedly over $1 million on the scam, in my opinion, that she was running. Yeah. So why can you not afford to print out the documents that you are being requested? And again, it's just fishy, and it sounds shady. And like, again, tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty. And I typically don't like to touch on religion, because that's a boundary that I don't like when people cross with me. Like, for those of you that don't know, I am very much still Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I know about all the issues with my church. I know. Okay. But that's my business, and it doesn't affect anyone else. I don't push it on anyone. So when it comes to religion, I don't really like to touch on other people's religion, even if it's like a known cult or whatever. But in this case, I feel like she thought because now she was going to be she's a Christian influencer or whatever it's called, that all of a sudden she was going to be like free of all faults, and like people were just not going to remember. It don't work like that, man. When you mess with people's finances, and also karma, but when you mess with people's finances, and so many people at that, like, someone's bound to speak up. And it's just because you love Jesus now doesn't mean that you go get away with shit. Like, that was the point I was trying to make there. And again, I don't typically like to comment on people's religion. That's just a line that I don't like to cross, but it's kind of relevant here.
Right. Yep. And again, there's something to be said for, okay, let's say you have a change of heart. I mean, let's take MLMs, for example. Let's say you've been in an MLM and you lied to get people to sign up under you, and you made a lot of money doing that. And let's say you said you have a change of heart doing anti-MLM stuff. That doesn't negate the fact that you get to take responsibility for the actions that you did while you're in the MLM, and saying, hey, this period of time, I did a lot of shitty stuff and I shouldn't have done it, and here's what I did, and I'm trying to make it right by doing something different. Now, I talk myself out of lying to people, because I'm just saying, like, hey, I'm not making a livable wage selling this product right now, and here is what I'm hoping to make, and here are the people on my team, blah, 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 blah. And some people signed up, some people didn't. But again, I get to say, like, hey, I crossed lines myself. I did things that I shouldn't have done, and I still get to own that and live with that. And say, like, okay, I want to pivot, but I also acknowledge the shitty stuff I did back here too.
But that's the difference. That's the difference. You held yourself accountable for what you thought you did wrong, or for what you did do wrong. And you held yourself accountable, you apologized, and you are trying to change the path in which you were heading, right? In this case, she said, now I love Jesus and I don't remember nothing that I did. That's kind of like what it seems like. So I feel like, had she held herself accountable and said, okay, so maybe I don't want to return the money to the people who I like scammed or allegedly, I don't want to return the money to the people because that money's already spent or whatever. Well, then now I'm going to have to do some work for free. I'm actually going to have to customize some workouts and meal plans and whatever for the people who were not happy. Like, if the people were already happy with it, that's fine. Like, they thought that they got their money's worth. But for the people that did not feel like they got their money's worth, she could have very easily been like, all right, you know what? Give me a couple of weeks. I will get back to you and I will make this right. That's all she had to do. But instead she said, no, now I love Jesus and now I'm in no fault. Like, I did nothing wrong. That's not how it works, lady. That's not how it works.
Agreed. Hey, Hunter.
Hi, Hunter.
If you don't, we did well, not we were in Hunter's chat when he did a stream on Twitch, and it was very entertaining. So if you ever follow Hunter,
I don't have the Twitch. I can barely keep up with Discord.
I know. Well,
but Hunter, I love you. You know that.
His for sure are worth watching if you ever make it over to Twitch. Okay. I follow him and Julie Joe and some other people on Hunter's chat, but yeah. Okay, let's press.
I might get one because a lot of people that I like are starting their accounts or they have accounts and I just didn't know about it. But I have a hard enough time keeping up with DMs and y'all know I if you are in the Discord with me and DC or even at Julie Joe's, y'all know that I'm barely in there because I'm like the worst.
You got stuff to do. You got plans to take care of and you got people to, keep healthy and well. And so, I get it. I get it.
True.
An email going essentially, where are the responses? The following, within 8 minutes of my email, we got where I said I would unfortunately be needing to file a motion to compel and involve the court in this dispute. We got an immediate response that they would be serving responses shortly, et cetera, et cetera. July 27th, so 2 days later, they served defendants' first amended responses. Those are also attached and they are Exhibit G. And you'll see in those responses, they have removed all of their objections. Unfortunately, even with the objections removed, it's still evasive and incomplete.
Ooh.
For example, things like we will supplement later. Your Honor, supplementing later from a plaintiff's perspective doesn't work. We need to know the universe of the material, the facts that will be available to the state to prove or disprove the claims at this time. My understanding, and I would argue the purpose of supplemental discovery is later acquired information. You go down the road and you later find, you hire an expert and they provide an opinion. Now you might need to supplement your discovery in a particular way, but not as an excuse to not provide timely, complete, and full responses at the time discovery is due. Now, Your Honor, that brings us to the present. Just yesterday evening, September 8th, 2022, defendants provide additional answers. So a second supplemental or a second response to the interrogatories and the request for production, and nearly 10,000 pages of additional documents were provided yesterday. Now, at 11:15 at night, Your Honor, they also e-filed a defendant's response to the motion to compel. And Your Honor, we, plaintiff takes some issue with the way that things are characterized as far as the timeline and extensions. The factual summary in there is inaccurate and incomplete. Defendants seem to imply that they had made efforts to, seek a fifth extension, and that somehow that fourth deadline was maybe the plaintiff's fault that the responses were deemed late. But I don't see any argument at that stage as warranted, Your Honor. They've already removed their objections from the first amended responses in Exhibit G. They waived their objections. The simple fact of the matter is plaintiff didn't agree to yet another and more continuances. Plaintiff had been waiting long enough to get these documents. And then in Exhibit G, it's interesting in that some of the arguments that they make in
her breath rate, if you watch Brittany Dawn while he's speaking, obviously it's a stressful situation. I get it. I would be stressed out too. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying it's interesting to watch her breathing pattern increase as she's sitting here. I'm wondering what points she's getting. I don't know if she's getting stressed about it in terms of, obviously her lawyer was handling parts of the delivery of things, and if she wasn't giving it, I understand that. But it's just interesting to watch the, again, understandably stressful situation and the impact. And again, I am of a different mindset. I know some people in the anti-MLM space or commentary space do not agree in whatever shaming someone else is. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you've done something bad, you get to feel every single part of that. And I'm a big proponent of that. I have lots of feelings. I'm just saying that I think it's important to say like, hey, I did something bad and I get to feel bad and I get to sit with those emotions to realize the impact that I've had on other people. I don't know. That's my perspective. So, man.
I agree to everything you said.
All right.
In this response to the motion to compel, Your Honor, is, basically saying that in order for them to fully respond to interrogatory number 5D and number 7, that they would have to review more than 50,000 pages of documents and look for information about individual consumers. And it's interesting because this is the first time they're saying that, in that Exhibit G, they said they would supplement after they review their documents, and they would provide a customer list with, names and dates. And now here they are at the 11th hour before a hearing on a motion to compel, basically making it sound like, well, the plaintiff can do this work for themselves. We'll just provide them all the documentation.
Yeah, 50,000 pages. So we did lots of big cases when I was working with my dad. 𝐔𝐒𝐃 used to do this in Houston. That's how we met one of the people in the chat. I think she's sleeping right now, but she used to work at a firm that we used to service. And I mean, some of those big cases, you have to get, and there's lots of iterations of production of those files. It gets expensive on the paper side for the fees, but also for producing these things. And then if there's color is expensive to do too. So it gets, yeah. Hey, Christina. Oh, okay.
And they can come up with their own list. Well, that's not what they said in response to Exhibit G. And I would argue that Texas Rules of Civil Procedure 193.2 and .3 make it very, very clear that a party is required to produce all information requested unless the party serves a timely objection or assertion of privilege, neither of which happened in this case. A couple quick final notes, Your Honor, that I'll make more to just the concept of what the state's entitled to and why. The Texas Supreme Court says that the purpose of discovery is to seek the truth so that disputes can be decided on what facts are revealed, not what facts are concealed. And in a case like this, Your Honor, defendants hold the cards.
He couldn't figure out how to change his name.
In their responses to interrogatories and in their request for disclosure, they are denying the allegations of the state. They're denying these violations. And one such example is basically saying, Your Honor, that all these consumers received the coaching that they were promised. And that is a statement that was made, verified in these interrogatories, that they received all the coaching.
It looks like that, Hunter.
Well, Your Honor,
he might be in court though. He might be in the court hallway or some of the nicer buildings that some of these firms are in, especially in Dallas. They're like on the entry, like floors and stuff like that. It's all like marble and shiny stone and stuff like that. Or he could be in the loo. So we don't know. It's much more entertaining to think that he's in the bathroom right now. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of, I'm gonna go tinkle BRB, but I'm gonna be listening. All right.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
The greater weight of hundreds of consumers who have come forward to the state and said we didn't receive the coaching we had requested. So to that end, Your Honor, I need to see it all. I need to see all the material to understand who did and didn't receive coaching, so that we can determine as is a core DTPA, instructions, the nature, extent, gravity of the alleged violations. Under the DTPA, in order for me to be able to prove to Your Honor and to a jury the nature, extent, and gravity of the violations, it is essential, it is necessary that the state receive these documents and these evidence. And what I don't want to have happen, Your Honor, is for us to get to trial and have received what we believe is complete documents and prepare a case to present to a jury to say, this is what has happened. These were the consumers who did or didn't receive their promised coaching. And then to have defendants testify or try to produce evidence at that 11th hour going, well, no, we actually do have emails of that, or or we did have coaching of that. I just didn't produce at the time. I didn't find it at the time. Your Honor, that's exactly the type of thing we're trying to proactively prevent by asking this court to say, the defendants need to produce everything, or they need to be at risk of issue sanctions for not complying, or discovery sanctions with not complying with this court's order. Defendants seem to have a hard time following the rules so far, Your Honor.
Oh, shade.
Your own court's order is that responsive pleadings be sent to the court 48 hours before for your briefing. That was not done. The rules with respect to when discovery was due, it's been really difficult to get complete and non-evasive material. We've been waiting 5 months for it now, Your Honor. We've only got 5 months before trial. We want this to end today.
All right, Mr. McLean.
Unmute.
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to start with our goal, and our goal is
wait. Before he starts.
Yes.
So basically, I love how he just said that ends today. So like, I'm done with your bullshit. Give me what I need so I can work on my side of things.
Yes.
And stop messing around. I love that.
Yes.
I love that for him, and I love that for us.
We love an assertive king who is well spoken and even tempered.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'm about it. I'm about it.
Yes, he is throwing shade. He is absolutely throwing shade. So we'll see what Mr. McLean has to say.
We've been open, transparent, and communicative with the AG for the entirety of this process, Your Honor.
Have you?
This case involves Miss Nelson. Is no longer Davis. And thus far, we produced 52,747 pages of documents. That is the entirety of the documents that Miss Nelson has responsive to the AG's request.
Wait, who's Miss Nelson?
It's so Brittany Dawn Davis was married to someone else, and then she got divorced, and then she married the guy who's sitting right next to her that we saw at the very beginning, and his last name is Nelson.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
so I
wait,
think
what?
When it was initially filed, it's under Davis, but her legal name is Nelson. But I think that the business name Brittany Dawn Fitness was registered to her maiden, or not maiden, but her previous married name, which was Davis.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I was just confused. I was like, wait, who are we talking about now? Is there someone missing, or? Sorry, that's my bad.
No, you're good. Hunter, I don't know. I take no responsibility. I hope it works out for you, Hunter. Okay. Play.
Anything else in her possession at this time. They have it all. I believe the main thing that the AG wants at this point, and we don't mind giving it to them, Your Honor, it's just that it's gonna take additional time, is number 5D, which states, identify the total number of consumers who purchased each plan. So there are a number of plans. There is no master list or any list at all of customers. So it literally will require, and it has required, our client to go through each page of these documents and physically type in the name, because at number 7, identify is referring back to 5D, identify the name, address, and telephone number of each consumer.
No.
And identify the month and year the consumer purchased them.
You have an automated system of people who paid you. It's easily identifiable. What is she? You can order this report from PayPal. What are they talking? What?
I have a comment to make. I don't know if it's just live chat. Let me know. Replay crew, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Is it me or is he a lot harder to understand?
I think he's a lot harder to understand. I think part of it is he's using a Zoom application and it's picking up his whatever sound is going on. He needs a mic. He needs to either be closer to. You need a microphone, sir. You need a microphone. He needs to be closer to his microphone, and it looks like he has one of those conference type setups, so it's reverberating Literally.
No, but like the way he's speaking too, he's being very beat around the bushes, you know?
Yep.
And
Yep.
if you had enough time, he said, we are going to give it to him. It's just we need more time. Sir, you've been running out of time.
Yeah.
Just give him the damn report. Like there should have been a system how they signed up and receipts and all that. You should just hand it over. Just send it to him. And you're fine. But shady. I don't like him. Sorry, I don't like him.
Yep.
The plan. We don't mind doing it. In our response, we simply say they may be better suited to do it, but in our order, if you read our order, we ask that you either deny their motion or that you give us a reasonable amount of time to complete this task. Thus far, our clients have, we produced 1,500 names in a chart that satisfies 5D and 7A and B. We believe that we probably have about 3,500 more to go. And it's just a tedious task. We referenced.
Let me just ask a question regarding, I guess, how this information is kept. If this is an online sales, online transactions, I guess why would you have to go through them physically?
Oh my God.
Being captured online at some point in time.
Yes, ma'am.
On my end, trying to
I love her.
Yes, ma'am. We love your energy. We love your intelligence. This is the question we wanted to ask. Oh my God.
You know, since he started talking, she was like, really, dude?
She's
really, dude?
Out. Yes.
Granted, we could only see the top half of her face. Yes. And even then, you could tell that she was just like, this guy. Yes. This guy. I love her. I love her so much.
We love you in a respectful way, ma'am. Judge, your honor. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Your Honor. So for first things first, all transactions were conducted through PayPal, all payment transactions. Our client has been locked out of her PayPal account. We've communicated that to the Attorney General's office. We've even mentioned that maybe they should subpoena the PayPal account because our client does not have access to it. It's in their exhibit E, where we mentioned that. We told them the difficulties we were having in getting in PayPal. In exhibit F, their exhibit F.
I don't believe that for a second that she doesn't have her password. And here is why.
Okay.
As a influencer, social media type of person, you know that the first thing that you do is save your password to your passwords.
Right.
Just in case.
Yeah.
So I call BS. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
And even still, let's say, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say PayPal was like, cut this shit out. If you don't cut it out, we're eating your account. And let's say it's out of there and she doesn't have access to it. If her lawyer would have sent a letter to PayPal and said, we are being sued by the state of Texas. We have to give these records to the state of Texas. Please do so immediately. I don't know what the legal term is for that. Maybe Harper can be like, what's going on? Because it's like, that seems like PayPal could just send them directly to the court. Or you could call PayPal.
Exactly. And or if he wanted to go like the legal route or whatever, he could just like have involved, like just signed a paper. I mean, he's a lawyer. Could have been like, my client, Brittany Dawn, needs these records. Here's a copy of like her ID or whatever. So you can see that she's the records that we need. I'm gonna need all the records. And I'm pretty sure they would have sent him an email or like a fax if he sent to paper and sorting through individual shit, like he said earlier. They could fax them stuff, right?
Yeah, and you're telling me that he didn't capture that information. So let's say her point of sale system didn't capture anything and it's all trapped in PayPal. Is that what you're telling me? If it is,
also
wild.
Also, as a internet person, and even if you're not an internet person, rule number one of being on social media, having any sort of credit card transaction, PayPal type of situation, you write that shit down somewhere where only you know where it's at. And you save it to your passwords just in case. And you keep an eye on it. And change your password constantly every like 3 months. please remember to change your password so you don't get hacked, especially when it comes to finances. But also, I wanted to take this moment to say that this is one of the reasons why I'm so like about launching like my little plant business or like my macrame business or whatever, because I am very particular about the way I do things. And like, I never want someone to be dissatisfied with my service or my product or anything like that. But if I ever do it, which I'm like seriously considering it by this point, if I ever do it, you better believe that I will have screenshots, backups, copies of everything just in case. Because as a, how can I put this? Just as a, like, a business owner, but also an ethical person, I never want anyone to like feel hustled out of their money. Like, that's just not how I roll. And I feel like that's, me and her are not alike in this situation. Like, I feel like she was just like, easy money, I'm gonna do this. Like, she didn't, I don't think she cared. It's really cold in here, that's why I'm shivering. But I feel like just as an ethical person, you should go out of your way above and beyond for your customers or your clients. And I say this because I've done this. I'm not just speaking out of my butt right now. Like, I've been a makeup artist, I was a nail artist for a while. I used to clean people's houses, I used to do people's laundry, and customer service is everything. And when that's where you get your money to eat and survive and all that stuff to pay your bills, you better respect your clientele. Like, it's not a you need me, I need you. It's just ethics, being cordial, being a nice person. It's not that hard. But that's why I'm weird about wanting to launch a business, because I am like, I know something like this wouldn't happen to me because I'm more ethical than that. Like, I'm way more ethical than that. But it's just one of my things that I never want anyone to be like dissatisfied or whatever. Like, one thing is for me to be out here being spicy, talking shit. But another one, when it comes down to people's finances and when people's money is involved, that's a completely different like story. So I don't know. I feel like she should have known better. She should have went above and beyond to make sure she had those records from the jump.
Yeah, and I'm concerned. So let's say you start getting feedback. Okay, hey, I'm dissatisfied. I'd like a refund. Okay, let's say they're coming in droves because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You're not even aware. Allegedly, I'm trying to use protective language. If a hypothetical situation happened where you're so big that you got $1 million of people's money and a large group of them are unhappy, wouldn't there be some signs early on, if people were unhappy, that you could have resolved that problem and said, oh crap, I need to pivot immediately because whatever I'm doing is wrong? You know, I've got questions. I've got a lot of questions after seeing this unfold.
And I feel like she should have been able to make this easier on herself. So like, for example, right, if there was one person that put a complaint, be like, okay, well, maybe, you know, this was just not for them. It was not what they thought. Okay, fine. But once you have like 10 or like 20 or 100 people dissatisfied with what you're doing, I feel like as a what's it called? As an influencer, as a large personality, whatever, it could have been very easy for her to post somewhere, hey, I've heard the concerns about the program that I've been offering. If you are one of these people, please contact me privately. And then reach out to those people and see like, so here's the thing. I'm sorry you were dissatisfied. I will add another like service onto this, or like another plan onto this. I will adjust it to yourself. I will reconsider what I supposedly customized for you. I will look back through your information that you gave me and I will make this right. And I guarantee, well, I can't do that, right? But I think that had she had that customer service and try to make, now granted, you cannot make everyone happy, especially when you like own a business or like a public figure or whatever. I understand that. I get that. But when it's more than a certain amount of people, I feel like she should have been able to just be like, I will get back to you. And I have a couple other people that have expressed concerns. I'm looking deeply into this. I'm exploring other options. I want everyone to be happy. I don't want anybody to, you know, if she she would have tried, I feel like this would have not even been an issue here. I just don't think she cared, in my opinion.
Yeah, and again, the attorney general, in my opinion, doesn't waste their from what I understand, they bring cases they attempt to bring cases to trial that they know they're going to win. So it seems whatever they have on their side must be pretty interesting to get them to this point, because
I mean, they're not going to waste their time.
Yeah, they're not going to waste their money either, and they have too many things going on. I lots of questions, lots of interesting points. So this is going to trial the 10th of 2023. My friend Wendy sent me the link to be able to check up on anything that's newly posted. So we're gonna keep track and keep looking at this. And Karina, you're welcome anytime. Whenever things hit the fan.
I will invite myself more often.
Yes.
Discuss the difficulties our client was having downloading the documents into PDFs. We're getting
the judge says
PNG
absolutely not.
And JPEGs. We have no problem, Your Honor, disclosing this information. They have the same documents we do. If you order us to go through them, we'll do it. It's just going to take some time. And it's not a physical paper file, 1, 2, 3. But it is looking through the digital pages one by one in order to.
She shouldn't have to order for them to get that. Like, they already requested that, so she shouldn't have to. Like, obviously, if they're requesting it, is because they need it.
Yeah,
there's no reason why she should make an order of the specific documents that she needs. Like, sir, these documents have been requested. What are you doing?
Yeah, and again, let's say that they're saying she's physically having to look at it. You've never heard of OCRing. Like, so let's say they have a scan. Let's say they don't even have a digital file. You can make all of those words searchable, so then you can actually go in and say, look for 300, look for something. So then you can start pulling and saying, okay, pages 4, 12, 18, 27, all of those things have information I need. We're going to print out those. That's literally what we used to do for law firms. So I don't understand why why they couldn't get that information and give it. I'm confused. Having worked on the side where supposedly producing this shit, I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm very confused.
I don't know about you guys, but if I was to find myself in a pickle like this, I'd have all hands on deck to get these documents sorted and turned in, because there's no way in hell I'm spending a night in jail because I didn't turn this in. Like, there's just no way, especially if I have nothing to hide. Like, she says that she has nothing to hide, allegedly.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have just been like, all right, mom, grandma, brother, sister, aunt, blah, blah, blah. I need your help. Help me sort this out. This is what I'm looking for. Whoever gets it gets $20, gets a McDonald's, gets a coffee, whatever. All hands on deck. We're gonna get this turned in and situated, because I'm trying to get this figured out. I'm not trying to go to jail over this.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's just me.
Yep. Or I mean, it's wild. I mean, we certainly have a lot more questions. I have so many questions at this point. I don't understand. I don't.
And like, isn't she like rich as well? Why did she just hire assistants to help out with that? Like, you could have hired like 5, 6 assistants, get it done in like a week. Just get all those papers turned in. Delegate, ma'am.
Yeah.
As a business person, you should know how to delegate and how to organize yourself well enough to be effective and to just get a task completed. But again, I don't think she gives a damn. So
yeah, the judge will find for something. And again, I think, and again, if you're a lawyer and you're watching this, leave us comments in below. If you're part of the replay crew, we are fine with being corrected. We don't know what the hell's going on other than something doesn't smell right. That's my opinion. So the judge is gonna do something.
And the requested information.
Yeah.
All right. Counsel, response?
Yes, Your Honor. 2 points. One, if they don't have any more documents, and recall, Your Honor, nearly 20% of that 50,000 documents were produced last night. I wouldn't be able to tell the court today whether the state considers that now a complete response. So the state would still ask for an order compelling complete responses within 10 days and if they have produced everything, then there will be no problem complying with this order. If all those documents have been produced, then essentially that part of the order has been taken care of, and it will set in the state's view, a very firm position that this is not an ongoing supplemental, provide a couple additional dots when you feel like it, as we edge closer and closer to a trial date or as the state tries to prepare for depositions. My second point, Your Honor, is, defendants mentioned that this is a tedious task.
There's companies for that. Oh my
Unfortunately, as we know,
God.
lawsuits are expensive. The discovery is tedious. There was discussions with Mr. McLean when we were meeting and conferring that he had proposed to his client hiring a third-party company that does these document data pulls from various files in your computer and takes care of it. And it doesn't look like that's the direction.
Look at Brittany
that they
Dawn's
went,
face right
and
now.
I'm not here to tell them
Her
how to spend
purse,
their money
like,
or how to prepare their
lips.
case, but to act like a civil investigation and a civil lawsuit from the state of Texas for violations of the DTPA isn't potentially a tedious and expensive thing, Your Honor. I wish I could say it wasn't, but the reality is these are borderline complex litigations, and it's going to be tedious. What we don't want, Your Honor, is this to be a prolonged, overly delayed process, and that's why we're here today.
Right. Let me say this.
I have a note.
Yes.
So she said that legal counsel is expensive. Brittany, you know what's more expensive? Losing your freedom, my guy. Being in jail, my guy.
Yeah,
That's more expensive.
Yep, and I don't know if you're a lawyer. What would the outcome be if, other than financial restitution, what's the outcome of something like this? Because I think is it a criminal trial? I don't think so. Is it? Who knows? Why am I even? Sometimes I'm just like, why am I flying by?
I'm not sure either, but I mean, if there is a possibility that she can go to prison or to jail or whatever, like, trust me, you don't want to go to jail. You don't want to go to jail. So,
but even if there's punitive damages, so like, let's say, so that the state of Texas is seeking $1 million. If they want a jury trial and the jury decides, okay, yes, we're going to award the $1 million in damages and punitive damages where you get like slapped for being, this is bad behavior, you're not doing it anymore, she could get in so much trouble, allegedly, and pay so much money on top of, instead of, it would have been so much cheaper to refund people their money.
I think, and someone mentioned it in the comments, that she thought that her privilege would let her get away with this, and
I do, clamp down. I
don't doubt it, because she is a white woman in America. Was this, let's say, me or someone with my skin tone, I think that this would not have gone down the same way. Like, I'm pretty positive this would not have gone down the same way. Like, I would have been prosecuted hard. So, listen, white lady, just pay them people back, all right? You don't want to go to jail. You just don't want to. Also, I am shivering, and you know why? Because it's 60 degrees outside, and this is Texas, and I'm not used to that weather, but I love it. I love it. It's so nice. Like, I can feel the cold, which is probably not going to be good for my plants. Can you hear me, DC?
Yes, sorry. I'm
okay.
A work email came in at 1:46.
Okay.
So I'm just like, God dang it.
Work-life balance, my girl.
I know. I need to figure it out. Oh my gosh.
Just ignore it. Bah, bah.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Back to the motion to compel. And let me just understand, I guess, Mr. McLean's argument that obviously objections have been removed. There's no problem responding to 5D. The problem with responding to 5D is the timing in which to respond to that. Now let's talk a little bit about what the rules require. Typically, in a motion to compel hearing, this court, if it is going to be difficult to retrieve it, this court obviously needs some evidence of that. Obviously, you've offered me some argument, Mr. McLean, as to what it's going to take from your client.
I love her attitude.
Respond to this discovery request. And so this court has to balance that. And what this court is,
That was her version of "Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining." That's what
Yes.
that was, and I love it.
Yes. I just feel like her energy is like more judges like you, seriously, would be incredible.
discovery, of course, was propounded back in April, and we're in September, still trying to get this particular information. So I understood you to say it's going to take some time, Mr. McLean, but I need to know how much time, because if I put it in this order, you're going to be bound by this order. And I don't want to obviously allow 30 days when discovery was propounded back in April.
I have discussed this exact issue with my clients, and they would request, and I know you said you wouldn't want to give 30, but they said realistically it would probably take them 45 days to complete this list. And since the last, and Mr. Holian and I have had many conversations through email and on the phone. So I haven't been hiding the fact, the difficulties that we face in getting documents in this case. I have not withheld that from him. I've been open with him about that, and it's present in 2 of his exhibits. However, as far as hiring a third-party company, that's just something our clients could not do. And it's just going to require a little more time to
could not do, couldn't afford to do. That's my question. This makes me so mad.
Could not do or didn't want to do.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay out for. And here's the thing.
I'm sorry, where's the $1 million allegedly?
Yeah,
where is it?
It's so easy for you to keep your like hold on tightly to your money when you had no problem allegedly taking it from other people in allegedly an unethical way. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Hey Kira. Thank you so much. I was playing the pet Roblox thing earlier and I'm still really bad at it. Oh my gosh. Man.
Go through them one by one. We've been open.
Clown Town, I'm getting the I know I keep saying I'm sending you stuff. I'm pulling the district where the trial's taking place and I'm sending it to you right now.
Yeah. We even had a conversation about that exact thing, Mr. Holian and I.
All right. Any response from the movement, Mr. Holian?
Your Honor, just reiterating, it sounds like this court is inclined to grant, and I would ask that something, I still stand by the 10 days, but if the court's inclined to give them more than that, but less than 30, we're going to work with the court's order. We're grateful for the opportunity to have a very firm deadline and to move this case forward.
Set that timeline. Set it.
Yes.
No more than 30 days.
I'm going
He's
to
done fucking around.
And to compel, I'm going to order the defendant to respond to the discovery that has previously been propounded upon them no later than September 30th, 2022.
Oh, that's today.
Figure out how to get it done by that
That's
time.
today.
That you all need
Holy
to be getting
shit.
ready for trial. You still have to mediate. There's still a lot of things to do. I've signed an order to that effect, and this order will be uploaded on Odyssey by the close of business today. Is there anything further before we conclude the hearing?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. McLean?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that concludes our hearing. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes.
What? Okay, I'm looking. Okay. Clown Town, I just messaged it to Gus. And then I'm emailing you the PDF with the information on it that has all the court information right now. And I'm doing that right now because y'all know how I am with I'm doing my best, Your Honor. Okay. Paste Clown Town and then insert a file. There we go. Okay. Brittany. Okay, sent it. All right. Okay. We're back. Wow. I need to fix. I just threw the background together. I think we're gonna keep reviewing her and live reacting to her stuff. So I'm gonna make her a little bit bigger. I'm gonna make the no workout a little smaller. I'm trying to not get sued, so I'm just trying to be as snarky as I can and maybe a little bit timid. Let's see. So it was supposed to go down today. I'm about to go on the game now, DC. Tell me when you're going on if I can join. I just want an excuse to play, for sure.
Does
Yeah.
she still have an Instagram? Because I would love to look her up. Let me see.
Yes, she should. She's
Okay,
she
shut
posts
it down.
wild stuff. Let's see. Here we go. Let me add this back to the stream. Let's see. Oh wait. Share screen. Window.
Y'all, when I go to my search, all that comes up is plants.
Love it. I'd love to see it. Let's see. Watching. Yeah. I'm trying out a new, whenever I save up for my computer, I might try out a new service instead of StreamYard so we can have more control. The guests can be more fun shaped. So, but I can't use it on a Windows. So I'm just chugging my way along to a new computer. Okay, share screen. Tab. Also, again, thank you very much to everyone who's donated. I was been able to fix some wedding photos for someone. They're in the military and able to fix some of their wedding photos. So big shout out to y'all who've given those to other people. Okay, Instagram. Hopefully she
Wait, you're taking donations for your computer?
Well, I'm fixing people's photos as like an extra side gig. So sometimes like family photos for the holidays don't turn out right, or in this case their photographer, all of their pictures were extremely dark, so they were not usable. And so I was able to fix it, remove some things, and then some other ones, like the family picture was great, the kid's eyes were closed, so they sent me another one with their kid normal, and then we put the face on the kid.
That's
so
cool.
There. Yeah, so it's like $10.
Talent.
Yeah, so that's what I used to do for my job. So I'm just kind of piddling along doing that. Okay, here we go. Share screen, add to stream.
I can donate a plant so we can sell it if you want.
That's awesome.
I'd love to help out.
Oh, you're so sweet. Real Brittany
I wish
Dawn?
I was rich. I wish I was rich so I could help out all my friends, but
no,
I'm not.
Y'all support Karina. Get her monetized. That's what we want. Okay. Let's see. Zoom in. There we go. That's good. That's pretty decent. All right.
That's good.
Wildly in love with Jesus. Married to my best. Okay. What?
That sounds dirty. I'm sorry. Don't say that. Don't say that about Jesus. I'm not even like very religious, but that sounds weird. Don't.
Yeah. Oh my God. Married to my best friend, founder. She lives freed. Another scam. Oh wait, alleged scam. Writer of truth-filled captions. What the flippity flop? Oh my God. No. No stories.
Today must have been a rough day for her. When was it?
Yeah.
March 11th. She hasn't posted in a long time. Holy crap.
This looks like an apology. Is that it? Is that what that is?
Posts. No, those were pinned. I'm an idiot. 6 hours ago.
Gets me fired up, and probably not for the reasons you think I'm going to say. There is a lot of stuff going around right now that is incredibly disheartening to see as a Christian. Pointing fingers and shaming because it is now the cool thing to cancel someone. And while I'm not here to condone the things that he's done, I am here to remind every Christian watching this that as his brother and sister in Christ, we are called to show him the same grace that Jesus Christ shows us every single day.
Okay.
Who is she talking about?
Do you know what Maverick City Music is? It's a Christian band. They do some pretty cool music. I don't know. I've kind of been out of the Christian music scene for a long time, but I don't know this scandal. I'd have to look it up. I think it's bold of her to talk about anything related to.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, no. No, this is so hypocritical.
So here are 6 prayers to pray over your house for anointing and protection. Dear Lord, thank you for the children that will reside in this room. Please protect them, encounter them.
What's with the creepy music with it? I'm sorry. This is just me. I have an issue with feeling like you are exploiting a prayer time, which I feel like should be private. That's just me. And I feel like her positioning and how she's behaved in this situation with the lawsuit, I think it feels hypocritical to position
That's
yourself.
what I was gonna say. She really thinks she knows what Jesus wants, and she's all about Jesus. You know what Jesus wants? Jesus wants people to be happy and not get scammed out of their hard-earned money. Jesus wants you to be an ethical business owner. Jesus wants you to be a decent human being.
Yeah.
So does that not count? Are you choosing to not see that? Are you choosing to not speak about that? Because, ma'am, that is very shady. Jesus does not approve your message, all right?
Yeah.
I think. I'll ask JJ. She's Jesus's secretary, so I'll ask her to communicate me with him, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about here.
Oh. This might be trigger warning. Sorry, I don't want to. Stop living for approval when you already have it from the one who matters. What?
She's so pretty.
She is. Who's Addison Rae?
Isn't she like a?
First
Ooh, I want to see this. I want to listen to this.
Crushed. And the first thing that popped in my head was, why is it always Christians? Literally, why? Why is it always Christians? But then I really sat on it. Why is it always Christians? Why? Like, it's annoying at this point. It's frustrating. Like, leave Jesus alone. Leave him out of it. But you don't see this country or this world in general slandering other religions. You don't see them slandering other false gods. But Christianity is now acceptable in our society to slander and mock. Jesus, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Channel. I had a lot to say about this.
Dear white lady, don't sit here and tell me that only Christianity is getting bashed, because let me tell you something. Catholics have had their ass handed to them for centuries.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
That's number one. Number two, and I'm about to get real colorful here because this is not okay. Mostly white Christians in this country that are hardcore Christians, and by that I mean very right-wing Christians, and I don't like to talk about politics or whatever.
Yeah.
But that to say, those Christians use the religion as an excuse for their shitty behavior and to take the law into their own hands and discriminate against people of color, people from other countries, people of other religions, and use Christianity against us. So I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and don't victimize yourself, because, my girl, you're a white woman in America, a rich white woman in America.
Yep.
You know nothing about discrimination, about bashing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
Yeah. Especially when she specifically she did any critique that has come to her based off of what has happened with her quote unquote fitness scam. Fitness plan, was her own doing. You know, and that's the thing. It's like, one, you're creating a problem that doesn't exist in terms of, she's very well off, and she took a lot of money from a lot of people, and allegedly did not give the product or service in trade for that money. And now she's talking about,
also, I understand that Christianity is your belief system, your religious, your spiritual, whatever. That's like who you are as a person. I get that. I totally 100% get that. You know, Christianity is not a fucking shield as an excuse for your shitty behavior, ma'am. Like, that's just not how we roll here. So it just infuriates me that she's like, oh, Christianity, now we're the target.
Yeah.
Listen, the most America people, and if you know, you know, that I know, use their Christianity as an excuse to be shitty to my people. to run over my people. Listen, here in Texas, there's still areas like by where I live that is nothing but people with Confederate flags and crosses outside their house, sometimes like out in the country, not like where I live, but I've seen that up close. I've seen people look me up dirty, or look me up and down dirty, and say nasty shit to me and my husband, talking about I will unalive you in the middle of my yard even if you get close to my house. So don't sit here and tell me that Christians are the one getting targeted when Christians in this country target every other group of people. Like that, this is not okay. You can try to victimize yourself all you want, but again, you are a white woman in America, a white rich woman in America at that. I'm so pissed right now. I'm like shaking. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're speaking to this. I'm sorry that you have to speak to this, because you shouldn't have to go through any of that shit. And again, to butt up against someone so tone deaf as Brittany Dawn is, I can imagine it is awful. And I have not experienced anything like you've experienced, Karina. And I don't know the right thing to say. I just want to like reiterate and support what you've said on my channel, and that the ideas that Brittany Dawn spews, not welcome here at all. And it's very emotional. It's
and I appreciate that you share your platform to share other people's points of view, because something else that infuriates me about this, and I'm going to try really hard to not get emotional here, but there's people like her who, in my opinion, are pretending to be nice, to be decent human beings. Meanwhile, people like my parents, like me, like my husband, we can be as nice as we possibly can, and we still get treated shitty in this country, whether we were born here or not. That's not even like, that doesn't matter once people see the color of our skin. So for her to sit here and victimize herself, when I don't think she's ever been a victim, I hope not, but she could never speak to being bashed and targeted, because I highly doubt that she has been. Like, I don't doubt that she's been through things in her life. But for her to speak on it like she knows what she's talking about, it's not okay. I don't think she understands what it is that she's saying. And on such a huge platform too. Like,
yeah.
It's wild to me.
Yeah. She is continuing to spew ideas that are incorrect and misleading, and again, false about her own self, and then continuing to prop up this idea about what discrimination looks like in America, when she's wildly uninformed and wildly unempathetic, or even unsympathetic. And again, just to reiterate, I'm so like, I don't want to speak over Karina. I just want to like reiterate and like platform Karina as much as possible, because and again, everyone in the live chat and the replay crew heard it. You have Karina sharing some of what she's gone through, and she still extends the kindness to freaking Brittany Dawn and saying, I hope that she doesn't go through that. And there's a lot of people out there that said, oh, you haven't experienced what I've experienced. I hope you get 10 times more than what I've ever experienced. And that's not Karina. And so, not that Karina has to be a specific way. I'm just saying, like, the depth of your character, Karina, is it's very inspiring to me. I know that doesn't really mean anything in
it does
scheme,
it
but
does mean a lot.
I love like finding people, especially on the internet, who dadgum, just I don't want to look at Brittany Dawn. I just like to find people who, like, one, I know you and I have had conversations about stuff. I know I've asked a ton of questions to you. You've been above and beyond nice when you didn't have to be. And again, I will say this from my perspective, having to learn some stuff. No, it's not on Karina to teach me about stuff, but I also really value learning from people who have empathy, who are incredible communicators, and who take the time to say, like, no, DC's not trying to be offensive. She doesn't know and she doesn't know where to start. And like Kareen is a trusted person for me, just like so many other people I've had conversations with. So it's like, and again, knowing that I know like I have wrong ideas about things and I don't know where to start, and finding empathetic, like kind, selfless people like Karina out there who and again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, everyone has to teach me because I don't know stuff. That's not, I'm not trying to communicate that. I'm just saying I appreciate the sacrifices that of time that you've given me when I've had questions.
I appreciate that, and I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes. Like I really do. Like I try to have conversations because I feel like you can't sympathize with something you don't know. You can't imagine something you've never heard from the mouth of the person that has experienced it. Like I'm a firm believer in sharing our experiences. Not, I've gotten called out and I've gotten some really nasty messages over, why'd you have to share this? Like that's nobody's business. Listen, sometimes I share stuff not because I want clout or like pity, or because I want you to feel sorry for me, or because I want anything from you. I share some of the experiences and the things that I've been through because I know that there's people that have gone through the same thing and feel alone. I've been there. I've had periods in my life where I didn't talk to like my parents. I didn't talk to my one and only brother, and I had to go through some really hard stuff by myself. And I've never not wanted to be here more. And I don't ever want anyone to go through that. I never want anyone to feel so alone and like they're the only person that goes through something. Like I want people to know that I'm always here to talk to you, whether you're a perfect stranger or we've been online friends for a while. Like I'm always here. You can always reach out to me no matter what it is. So long as you come at me respectfully, I'm always willing to have a conversation and to be someone you can vent to. Because I haven't had that all the time. I'm lucky enough to have it now, but I don't ever want anyone to go through some of the shit that I've been through, especially alone.
And again, I think it's I want to reiterate. I think it's if you're someone like me who doesn't have the same experience because you don't have the same incredible heritage that Karina does, and you're not discriminated against. Like I have not been wanting to learn and be empathetic, and also realizing it's not other people's job. It can put you in a space where you feel paralyzed to act and try to improve. And so there's something, and then maybe this isn't the right thing to say, but asking like, I am wanting to ask a question about this. Do you have the emotional space and bandwidth to be able to have this conversation out of respect, so that if they say, no, I don't have the emotional bandwidth, then you don't end up dumping on them. And again, I understand there's so much information out there. Again, I really value people who don't, and again, this is a little bit selfish, people like Karina who are empathetic and kind, and they don't see me as like some burden on them because I'm coming and I do have questions about some things. And so
I love it. I love having those conversations with you or anyone else. Like there's and I want to make it really clear. Like I love it when my creator friends send me stuff that's like in Spanish and they're like, hey, I don't understand much of this, but I know this is fucked up. I'm sending you this because I feel like you should tackle this.
Yeah.
I love that. And also I want to make it really clear because someone told me once, you just hate white people. No, I don't. No, I don't. I just call it like I see it. And if I see a privileged white woman talking about discrimination and being targeted, I'm gonna speak up about it. Like I'm just not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, poor her. Because again, I hope she hasn't been through half of the shit that I've been through. But it doesn't seem like it. It seemed like she's been well off. Like she knows what she's doing. Like she thought she could get away with doing what she did. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of her audience is also like a lot of the people that bought her program or whatever are people of color as well. And she didn't care enough to take the time to again, give that customer service that they deserve, that what they paid for. I mean, they weren't asking for any handouts. They weren't asking for anything free. And that's something else that like we shouldn't have, as people of color, we shouldn't have to beg for something that white people get handed. Like we shouldn't have to work 10 times harder to achieve the same thing, because whether you want to believe it or not, I know it's 2022, but we still have to do that. We still have to do that, whether we were born here or not. We still have to work 10 times harder to prove that we are worthy of the same things that people just get handed out for free. So I will not sit here and let her just victimize herself when she is clearly not the victim here, in my opinion.
Yeah. And again, hey, Tanya. Everyone is just loving love when Karina gets to have long, just, I guess, not school us, but school us. And it's a good, I love that Karina is willing to come on my channel, and we're co-streaming to her channel. And again, I feel like I'm always learning, but it's that the pairing of being able to learn from Karina, but also really feel like the empathy in that, like, she doesn't hate me as a person, because we come from, my background is,
I don't hate anyone. I love, I honestly love everyone. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but until you give me a reason to not like you or whatever, we're cool. We're cool. Yeah. And that's also something I've had to work on, like, for my entire life, because our family, like, for example, my family, and this is super quickly, my family has been so discriminated against. And I don't mean just like my parents, but like my mom has 9 siblings. That's a lot of people. Yeah. They all collectively have gone through so much stuff that at family gatherings, we are taught to hate the outside and like just F everybody and blah, blah, blah. And I personally don't want to raise my child that way. And that's why I'm willing to have these conversations, because I want him to know that the world is not against him. And yeah, he might have to work a little bit harder than everybody else, but the world is not necessarily against him. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm always trying to be not the voice of reason, but I really do try to be level-headed, as hot-headed as I can be on here sometimes. I really do try to take like the mature approach. Like, I could talk shit, don't get me wrong, but I also like to grow and better myself, and maybe just not hate on each other so much, because I grew up with that. Yep. Which is why I'm so open to just talking to anyone that is willing to be respectful and talk to me.
Yeah.
That's why and again, I don't hate white people. All of my friends on here are white. Like, that's ridiculous. One of my closest friends, Erin, I love her so much. I love her so much. Tanya, bestie, hey bitch, where you at? That's my bestie. And like, I mean it. We are real life friends. So don't sit here and tell me that, oh, she's jealous because she's not white. No, I'm not jealous because I'm not white. I just don't think she knows what she's talking about. Yeah. Therefore, I will call her out on her bullshit.
Yep. And we're gonna do it for the entire. Hopefully Karina will join me the rest of.
I will.
Yeah, for the entire trial. I think it's important. Again, it crosses over into that influencer space with some of these bigger top of the pyramid performers in multi-level marketing, where they use their lifestyle and their influence to recruit. We see that with Brittany Dawn, in my opinion, and what she did with this fitness plan and what she's now doing. And let me show you what she's doing now. And she has a Christian group where she does these. And again, I think Fundy Fridays covers her a lot. I think that there's a lot of people who mentioned it in the chat. I want to make sure that I acknowledge that there's lots of people out there doing an incredible job. And so if y'all know who they are, please feel free to tag them in the live chat or in the replay in the comments below. But so she has 147,000 followers for She Lives Free. She does these very expensive like, what's it called? Not conventions, but she does these little retreats. that are super. I thought, and maybe this is incorrect information, but they're expensive, and so she's still getting money from Dallas. Here we go, Dallas retreat. Come on, let's load. I'm gonna keep the sound off. So, picking up goodie bags for our retreat girls this weekend. This Bible will be raffled to one lucky winner. I'm all about being positive, keeping a positive mindset, diving into personal and business development, but it's not in an effort to exalt myself or make an idol out of myself. It's so I can be the best vessel I can for God. Okay. But it's whatever. Okay. I
call bullshit.
Yeah. And this retreat was expensive. I think it wasn't it? Well over, maybe it wasn't. I don't want to, if I think Fundy Fridays covered this, so I think they have the details. It was well over a year ago. I don't remember how much it was, but I know it was expensive. Do I know that person? Maybe. So they had this. Wait a second. Interesting. This looks like another influencer's retreat they do. So I guess they rented out this area. And lots of people did it. Lots of people came to this retreat. So if it's if it's even $1,000 a person for 2 days,
That's wild.
It's wild.
So again, why can't she afford to pay people to help her with her paperwork?
Yeah.
How?
There, that's bigger.
I'm pretty sure she's not volunteering here. So.
Yep, and we've got worship, and not a big fan of recording people while they're doing that. When every other, okay.
I think that's like a private thing. Like, why do they have to?
Yeah,
you know, we have a saying in Spanish that it's like, dime lo que tienes y te diré de qué careces. So it's like, tell me who you are, what you have, and I will tell you what you lack and what you're not. So I feel like if you brag about it so much, something ain't adding up. Like,
yeah. Yep.
It seems like an act a little bit, to me at least.
Yeah. It seems like a very private thing, and I would not want to be recorded. I'm not a big fan of recording people.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. Like I said, I don't really like to touch on religion or anything like that because that's a line that I will not cross. Like,
yep.
To each their own, as long as they're not hurting anyone. It's none of my business. Would you believe that I get like nasty messages? Because sometimes on my stories you can see like my Jesus on the wall or like my Virgin Mary. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, why can't you story somewhere else? Like, I've gotten several messages like that. And I'm like, listen, this is my house and I'm not about to move my stuff because that makes you uncomfortable. If you don't like it, then don't follow me. Don't watch this. Skip it. See yourself out, man.
Yep. That's wild.
I actually had to do like a story saying like, I want you to understand that because you can see something in the background doesn't mean I'm trying to push it on you, all right? This is just where I'm sitting right now and I'm not about to move. That's it.
Yep.
My beautiful friend Brittany puts on every few months, and
I missed the first one, didn't I? No.
I'd lead this amazing Christian retreat that my beautiful friend Brittany puts on
every few months.
And what a weekend. Women were touched by the power and the presence of God. Women were set free. They found their worth and their identity in Jesus. They worshiped their King. A few women got their prayer language. I mean, insane. So beautiful what Jesus can do with your yes and with your full surrender. I'm just
Clowntown just said, no, I hate that they're literally trying to have a connection with God and having a phone in their face. And this reminded me of something that I used to say. And like, I got in trouble with some of my mom's relatives for this because they kept posting like, if you love Jesus, like we posted, today is Sunday, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Jesus don't have a Facebook, all right?
Yeah.
He don't have a Facebook. He ain't gonna see this shit.
Yep.
And people hated me for it because I was like, can you stop? Like,
Yeah.
I just, in my opinion, like, you know, again, to each their own, but like my mindset, especially with my cousins that are like my same age, I was like, I just saw you like puking because you were so drunk last night, and now you're getting your Jesus on. Like, I mean, to each their own, but like Jesus ain't gonna see this post.
Yeah.
So maybe calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just me though. That's just me being an asshole to my cousins.
Yeah. Well, you're not being an asshole. You're telling. I mean, I did the same thing.
I was like, I just saw you twerking on a random guy at the club, and now you're getting your Jesus on, ma'am.
Yeah. And like, what's the point? What is the point of taking pictures about how many people had a great time at your event, other than to say, "Come pay for my next event"? I don't.
Yep.
I don't get that. I mean, I get it, but the whole marketing aspect. She seems to be profiting off of people's spiritual whatever journey, and I'm not a fan of that at all.
Mm-mm.
By not a fan, I mean I hate it.
Same.
That's an expensive balloon arch. Okay.
Oh, and then she's selling merch.
Yeah.
Or is she giving it away? I highly doubt that.
I'm wondering if they paid for. I'm wondering if it was covered in the cost of. Oops. Music.
I love her outfit. The one in the yellow pants. That's cute. That's cute as fuck.
That looks like a fun place that they're at too. I mean, it looks like
very different from everybody else. Like, I like that outfit. That was cute. That was so cute.
I love how comfy this girl looks. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
In this like oversized t-shirt, very cute.
Yeah.
Very, definitely my jam. Okay. All right.
Give me leggings and a t-shirt and I'm set. Pound time, that was a big group of white people.
Look, she's selling merch over here. She's selling merch right there.
Yeah.
Over there in the corner. Oh my god.
It kind of looks like my shirt. I got this at Marshall's.
Love it.
For $5.99.
Love it.
You don't got, and then we could just write something on here, get a Cricut. So who has a Cricut? We could just boop something on here.
Yep. You need to get some merch. Like a little, my
I should.
I don't know, something with plants and MLM or plants or something like that. Okay, next.
That sounds cute actually. Need to brainstorm.
Yeah.
If anybody got any ideas, I'll give you credit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're selling t-shirts. Oh, now we're videoing people.
Oh, you heard that in a crack?
Yes. See, why is she taking these very personal pictures? Look. Why is she posting this? I'm sorry, that's private.
That group picture at the beginning or at the end, that's all right because everyone's looking at the camera. These pictures
for
make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, stop.
Chiseled, called, freed. Is that their
slogan?
Breakout sessions? Singleness, dating, and marriage with this group. Okay.
You are divorced. I don't think you should be giving marriage advice. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Like anxiety and body image talks in some of the other groups. Again. Okay. I'm not saying people don't have this. I'm saying, do you have licensed counselors talking to these people, or is it just
that chicken looks so bland?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Not with the bland chicken.
Okay, so it's at least a 3-day. Oh, more.
No, stop.
Mute it. And a Bible raffle, so they only gave away one. Oh, did she write a book?
Oh, she's pregnant. That's cute.
This weekend was so special. One of the girls came up to me during an altar call for prayer. She started with, "I've had more peace in these last 48 hours than I've had in the last 4 years." And I was undone so much that I had to come back down so that I could stand in the gap for her in prayer. That is what these weekends are about, where the Holy Spirit is, where there is peace, there is freedom, there is redemption of every shattered, broken piece. Thank you, Jesus, for every woman this weekend and for encouraging them right where you knew they needed. You were so faithful to show up in unexplainable ways. My question is, did they pay you to be at this retreat, and did you make a profit? And why are you using this personal experience to get people to come to your next event? July retreat. So all these people must have, I'm assuming, donated all of the stuff for. Okay.
How are you?
All right. Shit.
I hate it here.
Yes.
Well,
this is our first stream on Brittany Dawn, and there should be something should be posting tomorrow about what's going on with the case, or tonight. I need to check the website because they said, I guess it would be tomorrow because the 30th is the deadline. So they have until tonight at 11:59 p.m. I think. So, oh my God.
I'll be back. Just remind me. Just remind me. Just give me like an hour of notice, and I should be good.
Sweet. Well, thanks everybody for joining in on this live stream, and big thank you to Karina for jumping on and like even all of the words of wisdom and the experience. And I really find so much I say value, and that's not the right word, but having conversations with people, shared experiences that help educate to help other people like grow their empathy. And again, I'm not saying it right, but when people maybe have a hard perspective or they don't know anything and then they can hear something through a conversation, I think that's where change can happen for the better. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I really value.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay.
And I appreciate you for having me, and I appreciate everyone in the live chat and in the replay crew. I love it here. That's why I constantly invite myself to everything.
Yes,
I love it here. But before we go, could I pitch something?
Yes.
Okay, so me and Tanya have this show that we do, Maniac Mommy Mondays, on both of our channels. And we skipped last time, but this time around, we're gonna be doing it, and we're gonna be talking about kids with special needs because both her and I have children with special needs. My little monkey guy just got diagnosed with ADHD and autism, so I'm learning to adjust. But she is a seasoned mom with a lot more experience, so she's walking me through it, and we're going to be talking about that next Monday at time to be determined, but 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. And other than that, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can. It's the same as here. And subscribe to me if you want to. I will be putting out content soon, I promise. I've been saying that, but I got my hands on some stuff that I really want to talk about. It should be in the next couple of weeks at the latest.
Awesome. So we're going to link Karina's channel below. I'll also link her Instagram. I'm going to put an event in our Discord so that for next, if you schedule it, I can grab the link and then I can promote you and Tanya's conversation. And then Tanya's link's always in the description when I tag it all in there. So I will make sure to put them together so y'all can follow both of them. If you don't already follow Karina, she's incredible. Her content is spicy and direct, and she's also a bilingual creator. She is kind of standing in the gap. I say that loosely because it has been co-opted by not great Christians, but she really does bridge the gap for helping equip and empower people who are targeted by multi-level marketing companies, and there's not enough content that helps people who speak Spanish. And I don't know.
There is a couple other creators that I would like to shout out in case you guys know someone who speaks Spanish and might need to, a little knowledge here and there. So Blanca Perdomo, I love her. That's my bitch. Gladys from MLM Exit, I love her. Dionelli etc. And then there's another newer creator on Instagram, at least that new to me, that I cannot remember from the top of my head right now, but I will put her in the comments of this video for the replay crew. And but there is like at least 2 more. So we just need to, we have a little chat going on. And we've been kind of like, we out here plotting against these people that are plotting against our people.
I'd love to platform them in my description as well. Okay, on that note, goodbye, Brittany Dawn. Goodbye, replay crew, and goodbye, live chat. Thank you so much for hanging out and for the support. Please go support Karina.
Thank you, everyone.
We will catch you on the next live stream. So I'm going to run the outro if I can find it. Wait, where is it? Okay, goodbye.